real young, I said, I used to play with that guy, or I used to play with that guy, or I played with Puckett, I remember Kirby Puckett. And he'd say, yeah, right, Dad, yeah, right, Dad. And then finally, as he got older, I showed him a few baseball cards and stuff like that, then he believed me. But there wasn't much I could do for him, you know, as far as from a baseball standpoint growing up, because, I mean, I coached him since he was a little kid, but I found myself coaching the other kids around him a lot more than I coached him. He just certainly, I mean, he was such a naturally gifted player that, you know, just kept him working at it, didn't have to make many changes, and he loved to play. His passion for the sport was so great. He didn't mind working at it. Drove me nuts growing up, actually, you know, playing catch with him and hitting ground balls and pitching to him and all that. But I didn't mind it because I'm a baseball guy too. So, you know, it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun. And I recognized at an early age he was a kind of growing up through the game. As a head baseball coach at the high school, and he was our bat boy. You know, he was my bat boy, a real little guy. That he had a love for the game, and he had a special knack, you know. And so we just let it take its course. Didn't force too much on him, and just let it take its course. And he blossomed into a pretty good player. And he's smart enough to know that he's got a lot to learn, and you can always improve at this game. There's a lot of failure, and there's going to be lots of ups and downs. But he's intelligent enough to know that there's always room for improvement aspect of the game. I just got done watching for 40 minutes bunt. You know, I mean, just base hit bunt, which is great, because that's got to be a part of his game with his speed. So he's got to learn to do that a little bit better against big league pitching. And you know, it's good to see that the Angels are really, you know, working him in that regard. I played in the Midwest League my first year, and that's where Mike started last year from first half. And I think the travel arrangements are a little better now. I think for the most part, the facilities are a little bit better. Locker room facilities, fields themselves, and I think minor league baseball, from what I gather and from what I played and what I can remember, is a little bit more. I think it's a little more popular now than it was when I played in the early '80s and late '70s. And the other thing that I think is different between when I played and when Michael played in the minors is that the communication within the organization itself, their communication with us and with him, as opposed to little communication or lack of communication that took place. You know, we got a letter, come to spring training, that was it. Didn't know where you were going. No one really ever sat down and talked to you about where we think you should be, where we want you to go. Here's what, you know, you just went out and you played spring training, you got your ground balls, you hit, you played in it, and then at the end of spring training, you're going to Orlando. Or you know, with Michael, they seem to be, and I don't know if it's just in Mike's case, but with Michael and with us, they really are. There's very good open lines of communication between the organization and the players. And certainly in Michael's case, that's the case. And we certainly appreciate that, because it's nice to know where you stand and what you need to do to get better and where you're going to be. I mean, and they're very open and honest with Mike, so that's a good thing, you know. Other than that, his natural ability is his natural ability, and he's certainly a heck of a lot better player than I was. So, he runs faster, he's bigger, he throws better, he's more confident, he's got a better head on his shoulders, and you know, he doesn't take the game home with him too much, you know. So that's a good thing.